Hi chums, right? I'm going to stay on an old bag here, or sorry, not the old bag, but the old compost from last year that I've reused. Once again, it's my own compost from last year, my own potatoes, and I've just amended it with spuds galore, bloodfish and bones. So there we are. Cara, old compost, and the wee star means are my potatoes from last year as well. So this is a real oldie now, so it's my potatoes plus old compost. So we'll see how it goes. Right, you're standing on the side of the road waiting for a lift and the driver comes along. Okay, some very basic things you want to get right. First of all, make sure the driver can see you. Some people, when they start thumbing, they kind of hide behind lampposts and bushes and stuff nearly, you know. Stand out, stand tall, look confident. That's what they want. They don't want to see somebody who's kind of, oh, I wonder should I pick this guy up or not. Look confident, look clean. That's really important. Now it's hard to stay really spotlessly clean when you're camping and stuff, but make an attempt. Look clean, and if you've got any bags with you, make sure the bags are standing in front of you, okay? Whenever myself and my mate used to hitch, we always stood behind our rucksack so the driver could see us and the two rucksacks, and he knew that's what was lifting. You get this sneaky thing of people putting two fellas and two girls wanting to lift, okay? So what do? They put the two girls out in the road by themselves. They look pretty and flirty, and the drivers like that sometimes, and the guy will pull up, and the next thing, while they're holding the door open, the two guys run out with the four rucksacks and start putting stuff into the boot of the car, and that's you trap basically. I've seen a lot of drivers drive off when they've realised that they've been had, you know, so don't play tricks on drivers. Drivers do not like to think they've been conned. Remember, they're doing you a favour, okay? And they want to feel good for doing you a favour. They don't want to feel they've been tricked into doing a job for you, that you've suddenly got one over them and they're working for you then, you know? So, be honest, show what you've got, and say be honest. Now, the next thing is, when you're standing on the side of the road with your thumb out, put your thumb out, make sure they can see it, and also look at the drivers, okay? It's very important to look at the driver, because the drivers are going to look at you. They have to, because there's no way you drive down the road and you don't look at things. And if somebody's standing on the side of the road, they will look at you. Now, in the split second they look at you, they've made a contact with you, okay? You now have a relationship, however tenuous that might be. They then have to break that relationship by driving on. You keep watching them, and that puts pressure on the driver, because then they suddenly think, oh shit, I have to drive past this guy, and they decide not to, and that's how you get your lift. And you don't be pleasant, you don't be nasty, you don't be threatening, you don't be angry looking. You just stand in your place. You don't have to smile like an idiot, you know. You just look pleasant and as if you're not a threat, you know. So whenever you make that eye contact, keep the eye contact, because if you break the eye contact, you have broken the relationship, and they can drive on with no guilt in their hearts. So keep the eye contact, okay? Now, the other thing is how do drivers know where you want to go? Well, they're going, every time I've been picked up, whether I had a sign or not, the driver said to me, where are you going, okay? So the bottom line is, the first thing you want to do is get them to stop, okay? Now, I used signs and I didn't use signs, and I found myself having more success with no sign, and I'll tell you why. Well, imagine I'm going from here to Dublin, that's about 100 miles, okay? So I stand and put my thumb out, and I've got a sign, okay? And it says Dublin, okay? So what I'm doing there is, I'm just cutting all my other chances off, because anybody not going to Dublin will not stop for me, because their attitude is, well, this guy wants to go the whole way to Dublin, I'm only going as far as Drogheda, which is halfway there, a bit more. So you've lost that chance of making half a distance, okay? Now, the other thing is that if they see a sign and it says Dublin, they have to decide, do I like this guy? And in that moment, they're thinking, right, if I pick this guy up to go to Dublin, he knows that I have already committed to go to Dublin with him. And if he's a complete balloon and I don't like him, I'm stuck with him until Dublin. Basically because you've made that informal contract where you've said, yeah, I will take you to Dublin by stopping for his sign. So there's a lot of that in it. People are nervous that they're going to pick up somebody that's going to become a real pain in the ass. So the other thing is, if you don't have a sign and they're going to Dublin and they stop with you, what you generally find is, where are you going? And I say, Dublin, right, I'm heading that direction. Would Dundalk be any good to you? Right, I'll take that, because Dundalk's about a third of the way there and almost half the way there, I suppose. About half the way there. So what it means is they have committed to half the journey, and it's not that long, and if they don't like you, they're going to say, right, that's it. They'll let you out of the car and they'll drive back onto the motorway and head on down the road without you because they don't like you anymore. But if they get you into the car and they like you and you're pleasant and you talk to them, they'll say, look, hold on, I'm going a bit further. I realise I'm going a bit further than I thought I was. Sure, I'll just take you on down that direction because I'm in no hurry. And I've had that a lot, where people have changed their minds in the car because the crack was good and there was no threat and it wasn't nasty, and the worst thing you can do is not talk. You have to be able to talk if you're going to hitch lifts. There's nothing worse than lifting somebody who doesn't talk. That is a disaster, because remember, a lot of people are looking for a bit of company while they're making a drive. So they want somebody to talk to and a bit of crack and carry on, and just have somebody pleasant to put in the journey with. So it means that if they lift you and you don't talk, that's a disaster, you know, and they will find some way to cut the journey short. Okay? So be pleasant, smile, put your hand out. Now, just back to the distance things. As I say, if you put a card out with Dublin on it, it means that you have then lost all the chances for anybody else going that direction but not going the whole way. Okay? There's also, I've talked to other friends about hitchhike and they said the same thing. Drivers sometimes get an impression that you're greedy. Okay? Now, you're trying to help them by saying, I'm going to Dublin. But sometimes their attitude is, this guy wants it all. He's not prepared to take part of the journey. So it's all or nothing, so I'll just leave somebody else to get him, okay? So what I found was, one of the best things was no sign, okay? And whenever somebody stopped to say, where are you going? I would go, I'm heading to the Dublin direction. And they go, right, that's no problem. I'm going to Newry, Swords, Points Pass. And that would get you a bit further down the road, okay? One of the important things is, if you're hitching from an area that's busy, is to get away from that area. And even you end up in some place like Points Pass, which is just a little village, there's a good chance that passing traffic will pick you up, because it's unusual to see a hitchhiker somewhere around there, and it's a bit of a novelty. So you'll find that people will stop just for the crack there and see what's going on, you know. So that can get you a lot of good lifts by just taking a part journey. And so I would find that no sign, or if I was really desperate, I would put a sign up, Dublin direction, okay? Or if it's going here, if it's going to Dublin, I'd put a sign up with south or east or west, because the two directions mostly go here are south and west from Belfast, or that is this area. You're going down to the south, you're going over to the west coast. So you give them an idea of what direction you're going. That's all they want. Am I any good to this guy? Yes, I'm going the same direction that he's going in. So I'll give him a lift, okay? The most effective sign I ever had was when I was hitching outside Galway and I was having trouble getting a lift, and I went into a shop and asked him for a piece of cardboard off a box, and I wrote please on it, and I stood at the side of the road with my thumb out and please, and I got a lift almost, I think, a second or third car on a really shitty day, and I kept that wee please sign, and that got me right down the whole west coast of Ireland, because I was saying, okay, look, I'm asking for your generosity here, and I'm saying please. And people like a wee bit of manners, so sometimes please is more effective than the direction you're going to, you know. So now, I don't know what it's like to hitch in America and stuff like that, because of the huge place it is. So but I imagine that a direction would be very helpful there for people, because you normally work in directions rather than going to a certain town, you know. But as I say, be clean, be polite, look at the drivers, keep your thumb out, and don't do any of this crack here. You see if I get my thumb, don't do any of this crack where you pick your thumb, the driver drives past and you do this here at them. okay, or you give them the middle finger. You don't do that at all, because the drivers coming behind will see you doing that and they'll go, look at that nasty bastard there, and they'll not stop either. So you only end up spoiling it for yourself by giving somebody the finger, okay? So remember, they're doing you the favour, you're not doing them the favour. So you have to be polite and just take the downs as well. You know, it's part of the hitchhiking thing. Not everybody's going to want to lift you, and that's it. So be polite, be clean, show what you've got, stand up straight, look them in the eye and smile, or at least be pleasant, and then you can use this. I find the most effective sign was please, and that got me a whole lot of places, because what do you call it? People like that, you know. I'm going to weigh these things now. They're not very good actually, these ones. So I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not going to cry, like, I might cry, I don't know. Like over to here, yeah. There's a great story called Around Ireland with a Fridge. In rural areas in Ireland, it's nothing for somebody to go to the town and buy a fridge and get it left on the side of the road, and they stand beside it, and somebody stops and picks them up with the fridge and bring them home. That's just the way it's done, you know, because they need a lift. And there's a guy did a bet that he could go around Ireland with a fridge, and he went the whole way around Ireland with a fridge, and he had no problem getting lifts, and it became a real talking point. But he said the very best lift he got, I think it was from Wicklow to Dublin, where the guy didn't ask him what the fridge was about. He said that was brilliant. Right, so there's only about £2 in this. Hello. Right, what are we on? We're on kilos. Pounds. 2.2 pounds, just one kilo. 1.04, so not very good, not very good at all. Right, so that's that done. What do we see now? I'll just take this around here and draw this back in. I think that should be alright there, maybe. Okay, so that's okay. I'll stand back a bit because it's a bit too low. So I'll do some more in a couple of days' time. So to say, none of this crack here. Okay, be nice to the people in place. Look at my face. It's well cleared up, hasn't it? That's 2 weeks or so after I put the stuff on, you know. So I'm happy enough now. It looked really bad during the week. All the skin was peeling off it, and it was like yellow, and it looked like something out of a really bad zombie movie, you know. So there you go. So here, thanks for watching now. All the best. Bye bye.